Well, hello. How is everybody doing out there in the world? It's kind of fun that you're from all different places. I hope you're having a good day. We're going to start this lesson about 15 minutes early because I do have to head out later. That's the plan. Let me check the focus here. I think my camera has decided to do that weird thing. Let me turn it off and on for a sec. It's going to go black, but you'll still be able to hear me. I'll be reappearing momentarily. It does just take a second, usually. Hopefully it does turn back on. Oh, there it goes. I think it's focusing now. Yes, there we go. See me? Yeah, nice work, Mr. Camera. Hopefully you are all having a nice day. We'll get started in just a moment on this lesson about opposites. Hi to Keybark, Sai Sandy, Vitor, Nizrin, Mode Eggs, Sybil, Sai Sandy, Know That, Freddie Wolf, Lolly Lolly, Judith, Fabian, Unsel, Ismail. If I missed your name, I apologize. I'm just scrolling back here. Hello to all of you. Freddie Wolf, Muhammad. I think I got most people. Again, if I missed your name, sorry about that. Should we get started? Let's do that. Well, hello and welcome to this live. That's not how I normally start, is it? Let me just take a deep breath and get started. If you're wondering why I do this so formally, it's for the when I edit it. So let me just get started. Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson about opposites. In this English lesson, we're going to look at word pairs where one word means the exact opposite of the other word. And we use that word exact a lot when talking about opposites. So happy is the exact opposite of unhappy. It's not the exact opposite of sad. They are opposites as well, but you'll see in the lesson what I mean when I say exact opposites. Above and below, what are some of the other ones? To attack, to defend. Those are opposites. So sometimes learning the opposite of a word can really help you remember the word that you are learning. And as a bonus, you learn another word. So once again, welcome to this English lesson about opposites. So, hey, that's done and it's good to go. I have a few surprises this morning. One is I can pause the lesson now. Here we go. There, see, I came right back as promised. Let me just make sure that's working on the live feed. I think it is. We'll find out in a moment. I'm just waiting to see. Oh, yes, beautiful, calming music if I ever do need to mute or pause the English lesson. Again, hello to everyone who is here. A few things before we get started. Please use the chat for fun English conversations with each other. If you have a question, please use the link in the description below or the link in the chat. A few things about my channel. Please do consider becoming a member. There are a lot of cool things for members now. Free access to the app, 2 members live streams on Wednesdays as a follow-up lesson, lesson plan on Monday, priority response to all your comments. So if you're a member and you ask a question in a comment, I'll answer within a day and a half. And other things. I can't remember. You get your name in green and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, consider that and please enjoy this lesson. I'm going to get started. We're a bit early because I have to go for an appointment. I'm getting an x-ray. It's my first x-ray since July 4th. It feels pretty good. Like, I think everything's good, but I'm looking forward to the x-ray to make sure. But hey, let's get rolling. Hi, Vitor and Cat Diary. Good to see you as well. Here we go. Happy and unhappy. Happy is, of course, feeling or showing contentment, and unhappy is to be sad or dissatisfied. You are all very happy when I do a live lesson on a Friday. A lot of you were very unhappy when I wasn't able to do live lessons in June because I broke my collarbone and everything just hurt too much. I was very happy to play baseball that day because I like playing baseball, but I was very unhappy after I fell running to first base and had to go to the hospital. So I think this is a pretty simple one for all of you. Happy and unhappy. Yeah, that's a pretty good unhappy face. I don't make that face as often as I make this face. I'm usually quite happy. Soft and hard. And then we're also going to look at easy and hard. So soft is easy to press, cut, or shape, not firm or solid. Ice cream is definitely soft. Hard would be firm and difficult to press or bend, not soft. I should mention though, ice cream can be hard at first, but it gets soft as it melts. Maybe that's a bad example, but I think you understand how soft and hard are the exact opposite when you look at the cement blocks. These blocks are very, very hard. If you hit it with your hand, you would hurt your hand. The ice cream, though, is very soft and easy to eat. Easy and hard. So we can use the word hard in a different way. Easy means not difficult, requiring little effort. So 1 + 1 is 2. I think we all learn that when we're like 4 or 5 years old. But hard would be difficult to do or understand, requiring effort. So you see this equation here. I don't even know what this equation is for. It just looked really hard to me. So once again, learning a language would be hard, but if you do little steps, you can make it easy. So let's say you learn 5 new vocabulary words a day. That would be easy. If you tried to learn 100 vocabulary words a day, that would be hard. Kind and cruel. Kind would be caring, caring and helpful, showing concern for others. Cruel would be causing pain or suffering without concern. And that can be like emotional pain, or it can be actual pain. Like a cruel person can physically attack other people. So be kind. That's one of the mottos of the Bob the Canadian YouTube channel. Try to be kind, be caring, be helpful, show concern for others as you go through your day. And then cruel. Don't be cruel. Don't cause pain or suffering to other people. It's just not a nice thing to do. We are all human though. We all have emotions. But if you can, try to be kind today. Try to be nice to people. Interior and exterior. So interior is the inside part of something. And you can see in that slide, we have the interior of a house. So we actually have a job title in North America called interior decorator. So if you don't know how to design your house on the inside, in the interior, so it looks nice, you can hire an interior decorator. The exterior then is the outside part of something. On the exterior of the building, you need to make sure you use things that are weatherproof. Sometimes you'll buy something. I bought networking devices to connect the barn to the house, and they're designed to go on the exterior of the building. They're designed to be weatherproof. So there's another term for you, weatherproof. To include, to exclude. To include means to make someone part of a group when you're talking about people, and to exclude means to leave someone out of a group. Now, I should mention, this can be used for more than just people. You can use include and exclude for things as well. Like if you're a member of the channel, I include a lot of things that you are able to do. When you put a bunch of things in a box, you might exclude a few things. But when talking about people, if you have friends and you see someone new at work or at school and you decide to invite them to do something with you, you have decided to include them. But if you decide to ignore that person, you have decided to exclude them. So if you go back to what I said about being kind, that's part of being kind, is to include people, in my opinion. Ancient and modern. Ancient would be very old, from a long time ago. I am not ancient, but sometimes we use that word to talk about people as well who have gray hair. We might say they look ancient. Modern would be relating to the present time. So if you drive through a city, you will possibly see some ancient buildings if you are in a very old country, like Greece or something like that. In Canada, we don't have a lot of ancient buildings because most buildings are only from, like, if they're still standing, they're from maybe 600 years ago. Like, we're a very young country. But if you drive through a very old country like Greece, or if you're in Japan, you might see some ancient buildings. Modern buildings then are buildings that have been built sometime in the last 5 or 10 years. I would consider a building that's 7 or 8 years old quite modern still. So ancient, very old from a long time ago, and modern relating to the present time. Blunt and sharp. So this is a bit of a review from a few weeks ago. The knife, the far knife over there, the one under the word blunt, is a butter knife, and it means not having a sharp edge or point. That type of knife is used for spreading butter and other things, butter, margarine, jam. It is blunt. You can't cut very well with it. You can cut with a butter knife, but you can only cut soft things. This type of knife, though, this kitchen knife, it's a little bit too big to be called a steak knife, is sharp, having a fine edge or point. If you needed to cut up vegetables, you would use the sharp knife. If you needed to spread butter, you would use the butter knife. To care for and to neglect. So I added the word for because when you take care of people, it's the same as to care for people. It's to look after and show concern for someone or something. So when you care for your children, when you care for your elderly parents, you are deciding to take care of them. But when you neglect someone or something, it means to fail to give proper attention or care. You can see this building. Someone has neglected this building. Someone has probably decided to neglect this building. Instead of fixing it, they are allowing it to go into a state of disrepair. So when you care for something or someone, you take care of it. You show concern. You can take care of your dog. You can even take care of your house. I'm changing the wording here, though, aren't I? To care for. So let me go back. To take care of is a little different, okay? You can care for someone and you can care for your dog, but when you take care of someone or your dog, it means the same for the person and the dog, but you can also take care of your house. Hopefully I didn't confuse you. You can't really care for your house, but you can take care of your house. Maybe rewatch this segment again, because hopefully I made some sense there. Clean and dirty. Clean would be free from dirt or mess. Dirty would be covered in or full of dirt, not clean. We all try to keep our houses clean. We try to keep our apartments clean. Sometimes, though, when you're busy, things start to get dirty. In the summer, when Jen is busy on the farm and when Bob has a broken collarbone, our house tends to get a little bit dirty. But usually we try to keep our house clean. It's just nicer to live in a clean house. It just makes me less, I'm happier when my house is clean. So I do as much as I can to help keep it clean. Hey, sorry if I'm going a bit fast there. I'm trying to moderate my speed a little bit, but I'm like, try to get through 25 slides by 9 o'clock. I think we have lots of time, so I should just slow down. Hi to Brent. See you there in the chat. Brent, good to see you. Hafia says, speaking of ancient, Brent has been visiting and collecting the wonders of the world. Yes, he has visited some very ancient places. I thought you were going to say Brent is ancient. He's definitely not ancient. I am older than Brent. Okay, let me get a question on the screen. We have a few up here. First one is from Curtis. Hi, Uncle. Did you know that in Newfoundland, scoff means a big meal, but everywhere else in Canada, it means to make fun of someone? Any other words like that? Not that I can think of right off the top of my mind, but I actually didn't know that about the word scoff. So thank you for that information. I'm just going to move myself over here. Very cool. Always like learning new things. From Fabian. Hello, amazing, fantastic Superman of teachers. Thanks for the compliment. I have to thank you a million times for your work and for your desire to teach the way you do. I hope you are doing well. Well, thank you. Thanks for the compliment. I am doing well. I am still enjoying teaching English. I'm still enjoying making lessons every Friday. And I do regularly have people leave me a comment saying that the Friday lessons are extremely valuable. I didn't realize when I started that the Friday lessons would continue to get views and be popular. So very cool. Thanks for hanging out and thanks for watching. I'm clicking the wrong buttons here. From Judith. Judith says, hi, Bob. What is your favorite opposite terms and why? Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I hope for great results on your x-ray. My favorite opposite would probably be, trying to look here at the list. I really like the argue and agree and attack and defend. Those were fun ones to find pictures for. Those would be the two that I would say, but no real favorites. And then, yeah, for those of you that don't know, I'm going for a collarbone x-ray today. I hope to have good news that it's healing well. We'll have to see. Hey, we're going to do something fun for a sec. I'm going to do this earlier than later. I'm going to, let's see here. Where do I do this? I can't seem to find the button. Let me see if I can find it. Membership gifting. Give one membership. Here we go. So someone's going to get a free membership in just a moment. I will click the button to make that happen, and it will randomly choose someone in the chat. So let's see who that is. It says Nizu received a gift membership from me. So welcome, Nizu, to a 1-month free membership to the Bob the Canadian YouTube channel. Go to the posts page and look at all the member posts to see what you are able to get and use, like access to the app, your name in green, lesson plan on Monday, Bob Wednesdays with Bob on Wednesdays. Lots of fun stuff for you. Here we go. From Mode. Hi, I'm not sure my question is on topic, but there's a lot of buildings in the lesson. So I'd like to ask about the word bungalow, meaning and pronunciation wise. Thanks. So bungalow. So when I think of bungalow, it's usually a single story house of moderate size, like not huge, but not tiny. A bungalow, like my uncle and aunt lived in the house across the road and we called it a bungalow. It was a single story house. So what is a bungalow? It's a fun word to say. A bungalow is a type of house typically characterized by a single story and often featuring a low-pitched roof. Yes. So basically just a house with one story. Bungalow. There you go. Bungalow. Malad from Iran. Do all words in English have the opposite form with specific prefixes like un, im, etc.? Yeah, like he's important, he's unimportant. Happy, unhappy. I don't think it's a hard and fast rule. Like when you like someone, the opposite isn't unlike. But we do use, like, you can like a video and then unlike a video. So it has kind of slightly different usages. So I'd have to do some research on that one. But because like things like the opposite of sad would be either happy or glad. So the opposite of sad isn't formed with one of those two prefixes. So yeah, I'd have to do some research. Let's see here. From Unsel, hi, Mr. Bob. No question this time. Just here to soak up the knowledge and good vibes. This is my favorite part of the week. Thanks a lot for your hard work. Bye. Well, thanks for the compliment. I'm glad you enjoy these live streams. I also continue to enjoy them. So it's as I've said in the past, it's a win-win. I like it and you guys like it. From Judith. Hi, Bob. Can you tell me some opposites if their consistency and condition are also opposites? Thank you. So that's a tricky one. Like generally an opposite, some of them are verbs. Some of them are like adjectives. So it's tricky because I don't know off the top of my head ones to give you examples of. Yeah, I'll have to think about that one, Judith. It's a good question. Here we go. From Judith as well. Hi, Bob. In their meaning, exclude and exclusivity are opposites. Can you explain it? Yeah, so when you exclude someone, you leave them out, but exclusivity kind of means like unique. Let me get the actual definitions here. Like Costco memberships rely on exclusivity, where you buy a membership. Um, so yeah, banks maintain exclusivity by setting minimum. Yeah, that's a tough one because they do kind of mean the same in a way, I guess. Like Costco has exclusivity because you need a membership, so they exclude the people who don't have a membership. Hopefully that makes some sense. One more question and then we're back to the lesson. Zeravan, the sad news is that autumn is coming soon. Yes. I really like hot weather because in summer I can wake up more slowly. How about you, Bob? I just like summer because I don't have to go to work. And in a few weeks, I have to go back to work. So Mode says, yeah, bungalow, fun to say. Debatably one of my favorite words. It's up there with A. Yeah, bungalow, eh? It's a great word. Eugenio says, hello, Bob. Sorry I came somewhat late. I'm sorry for the silly question, but what's the subject? Have a wonderful day. Today's lesson is on opposites. Roya says, do you use your phone to film videos? I have a DJI Pocket 3, and I use that to record almost everything. I think it's sitting there on the stand. It's a little bit hard to see. Okay, let me get this question, and then we'll get back to the lesson. Hello, dear teacher Bob. Could you say what is the opposite for Bob? Well, my name is a palindrome, so it's the same forwards and backwards. So you could say that the opposite of Bob is Bob. Hey, if you're one of the 209 people watching, don't forget to click that red subscribe button and you'll get notified when a new lesson comes out. Let's get back to the lesson proper. Here we go. To earn and to spend. To earn is to receive money in return for work or services. I go to work because I need to earn money. I do YouTube because I enjoy it, but I also like it that I earn money from YouTube. Because I earn money from YouTube, I can work less. So I am about just over, I think I'm around 70% of full time. So I can earn money at work, but I can work less because I earn money from YouTube. To spend is to use money to buy things or services. Last month, I decided to go through our family budget so that we could spend less money. And I found a few things that we didn't really need. And I negotiated a lower rate for my car insurance. So now I'm able to spend less money each month. Prose and poetry. Prose is written or spoken language in its original form. So prose has proper sentences and paragraphs, and it looks like the piece of paper on the far part of the slide. Poetry is writing that expresses ideas in a creative, rhythmic, or rhyming way. So if I read this poem, then to the still small voice I said, let me not cast in endless shade what is so wonderfully made. To which the voice did urge reply, today I saw the dragonfly come from the wells where he did lie. So you can hear that there's some rhythm there. There is some rhyming. Poetry is creative, and most song lyrics would be considered poetry. I think all song lyrics would be considered poetry. Tight and loose. Tight is fitting closely or firmly. There's also the verb to tighten. So when you tighten a bolt, you want the bolt to be tight. This man has decided to make it tight. When something is loose, it's not tight. It's free or relaxed. So you can see this rope here is quite loose. If you were tying a horse up with that kind of knot, I don't think it is tight enough. It is too loose. So tight, fitting closely or firmly. Loose, not tight, free or relaxed. Maximum and minimum. Maximum is the greatest possible amount or degree. So if you were driving and saw a sign that said maximum 50 kilometers per hour, you would not want to go faster because you might get a ticket. You might also see a sign that says minimum, the smallest possible amount or degree. The minimum speed is 60. This means you do not want to go slower. So maximum and minimum. Optimist and pessimist. This slide has come up in a few lessons. An optimist is someone who sees things in a positive way and expects the best. So they would see the glass as half full. A pessimist is someone who sees things in a negative way and expects the worst. They would see the glass as half empty. I am generally an optimist. Most days, I've mentioned this before, if I've exercised, if I'm eating healthy, if I have a good night's sleep, I'm an optimist. I am very optimistic. But if those three things aren't true, I can become a bit of a pessimist. I can be pessimistic. Foolish and wise. Foolish would be lacking good judgment, unwise. I should have warned you there was going to be a picture of a clown. I know some people are afraid of clowns, but a clown is considered foolish. This kind of looks like Gandalf from The Lord of the Rings. Wise, showing good sense or judgment. So as you get older, you hope that you go from being foolish as a child to wise as an adult. At least when you get to my age, you hope that you are becoming more and more wise. Guilty and innocent. Guilty would be responsible for doing something wrong, and innocent would be not guilty, having done nothing wrong. If all of the cookies in the kitchen were gone and someone said, "Dad ate them," I would say, I'm not guilty. I usually am guilty of doing that, though. I'm usually the one who is responsible for eating all the cookies or brownies. But I could, if I didn't do it, say, no, I'm innocent. I'm not guilty. I didn't eat all of the cookies. Fear and courage. So fear would be a feeling of being afraid or worried about something. And courage would be the ability to face fear or danger bravely. Sometimes I have fear. I have fear when my children are out late at night. And if they aren't home on time, I start to think that maybe they were in a car accident or something. That is a common fear that parents have when their children are out. Most of the time, though, I think I have courage. I would never fight a dragon. But if I have to talk in front of people, I have the ability to face that fear or danger bravely. I'm not afraid. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of snakes. In those situations, I would not have courage at all. To confess and to deny. To confess is to admit to doing something wrong. Basically, you say, I did it. Who ate the cookies? I did it. To deny is to say you didn't do something. If they said, Dad, you're guilty. You ate the cookies. I could say, I'm innocent. I didn't do it. So I'm denying doing it. You can also lie when you deny. Like sometimes people are actually guilty, but they deny doing it. So it doesn't, just because when someone denies doing something doesn't mean they are completely innocent. But to confess, to admit to doing something, to say I did it, to deny, to say you didn't do something, to say something like it wasn't me, I am innocent. Hey, let's do members only chat for a moment. I think we're right on track with this lesson. I think it should finish nicely by 9 o'clock. If you are a member, you are free to ask questions directly in the chat right now. And I am going to talk for just a moment about what members get. I should really add a slide here that explains all the member benefits. Let's get through them really quickly. You get a Monday morning lesson plan on the posts community page on YouTube. You get your name in green during live streams. You get a little crown beside your name during live streams. You get to participate in members only chat. You get access to all levels of my app at vocab.bobthecanadian.com. You get an extra video on Wednesdays called Wednesdays with Bob. You get a YouTube short where I teach a small phrase. I don't know. There's a bunch of things. I think I listed all of them. So consider it. It's $1.99 a month. There is a join button or a subscribe plus button somewhere around here. And you will be able to see all of the things that you get. And for those of you that aren't members, nothing really changes with my push now to try and help members more. I'm still doing a video on Tuesdays, live stream on Fridays, all of that's still happening the same. But I am adding more and more things for members as I go through the summer and hope to continue all of those things for the next year. So from the chat, Hafia says, members exclusivity. Aha, one of the words from the lesson. There you go. And also, if you're one of the 215 people watching, you should click the subscribe button. Know that. Hey, Bob, how was the market yesterday? Did your sales go well, or weren't there many visitors due to the heat? Thanks, Bob. When I got to market, it didn't look like Jen had sold a lot, but by the end of market, things had gone well. There's some nice complex sentences there for you. It was a little warm, and so that was a little tricky for, when it's warm, people don't come out, and it was the third hot day in a row. So in the end, it was good. But yes, we're looking forward to Monday. The temperature is supposed to go back down to like a normal temperature for this time of year. Freddie Wolf says, I think we can also say that the grocery store is the opposite of the bank. Am I right? When you're talking about where something is in a town, if the road is right here, and if the bank is here and the grocery store is directly across the road, you would say the bank is opposite the grocery store, or the grocery store is opposite the bank. We sometimes use the word directly, like it's directly opposite the bank. Good point. Let's see here. Bridget, Bob, I can confirm your fear when your kids are out by car. For me, it's the same feeling. It is. When they're out, and if they say they're going to be home at 11 and they aren't home and it's 11:30, that is, you just start to wonder if everything's okay. Fabian says, hi, everyone. It is amazing to be a member. Yeah, Fabian, thank you for becoming a member. That is awesome. Go to the posts page, sometimes called the community tab on YouTube, and you will see all of the members' posts now, and you'll be able to access some of the member things. Let's see. Lolly is welcoming Fabian. Very nice. Mode says, folks, this wise gentleman has to go to the doctor this morning, and he still chose to do a lesson. So you better appreciate that and give him a thumbs up. Thanks, Mode, for that. I'm definitely talking faster. For those of you that ask for lessons where I speak my normal speed, this one's getting pretty close. I'm on track. I'll be able to finish the lesson easily, but I'm mentally trying to tell myself, speak clearly, make sure people can understand you. No, that says, other than your doctor's appointment, Bob, do you have any plans for today or the weekend? Thanks a lot. We are visiting a family later this weekend, and mostly we're getting ready. I'm trying to think, like, summer's ending. I got to do some work for school. There's a class that I taught that another teacher is going to be teaching. So I have to kind of send that teacher my stuff, and I need to do that soon so they can plan the class. Bridget says, now we have only 29.5 degrees Celsius. The temperature here today is supposed to be 29, tomorrow 32, and then by Monday 23. So that'll be nice. That'll be nice if it cools off for us. Okay. Let's see. Bear Vilson says, better late than never. Hello, Bear Vilson. Good to see you. Fabian says, I would like to share that today I will start my holidays, obviously, when I finish my daytime hours. We'll have a good break from work. Fabian says, I work from home, by the way. That's handy. Then when you're done work, you're at home. Freddie Wolf, Bob, after having had your x-ray, will it be possible for us to see you in one of the next X-Men movies or of the Fantastics? Hopefully I don't turn into a superhero from the x-ray. John Wedge, hi, Bob. I was 10 minutes late today. I think the live stream started a little earlier than I'm used to. As always, no question today, just listening and having fun. Yeah, John, I have to leave at 9 a.m. for an appointment. And by the way, give Jen a hug, and also thank you for replying to my message in one of her videos. No problem. I will let her know. No, that says, personal question, Bob. Now that it's August, may I ask you what presents what presents you got for your birthday, but only if you don't mind sharing. Thanks in advance. So what presents did I get? I got a Matt Damon poster from one of you. I don't want to say the person's name. They didn't tell me that I could publicly tell who it was from, but it was for the movie The Martian, and I have it hung up in my server area in the basement. I thought that was an appropriate place. And then I got a lot of cards. That was very nice. I got about 12 cards in the mail from all of you, different various people. And from Jen, we just went out. We went to a Blue Jays game, and we went to see the movie Formula One. So no actual present. I don't really need anything. Mode says, yes, thanks, Freddie, for your question. I wanted to ask about how the preposition for after opposite changes based on its use. Opposite of or versus just opposite for directions versus opposite to. The bank is opposite. I don't know if I'm going to add a preposition. The bank is opposite from the grocery store, opposite to the grocery store. Both of those work. I wouldn't use of, but you use that in the question form. What is the opposite of interior? Yeah. Tricky. The preposition's still tricky. Anne has become a member. Anne, welcome to the membership community. If you check the posts or community tab, you will see all of the members' posts now, and you can start to figure out the perks. John Wedge says, don't forget to give a thumbs up. So I know I'm rushing things a bit this morning, but I'm going to turn off members only chat, and we're going to get back to the lesson. I'm just going to read. My tummy is opposite to food on the table. Yeah, that's, it doesn't, I get it. That works sort of. I'm just thinking when you mentioned tummy, I got hungry because I haven't eaten enough yet today. Okay, I'm going to finish the lesson, and then I'm going to finish off the questions in the queue. So here we go. I think I turned off members only chat. Let's have a sip of water. You guys like these speed lessons when I'm rushing through things? Here we go. Above and below. The cup is above the microphone. The cup is below the microphone. This gets tricky because you could say on top of, like if it was sitting on here, I would say the cup is on top of the microphone, but you could say the cup is below or the cup is under. Both would work. Above is at a higher position or level in relation to something else. Below at a lower position or level under something. So in order for you to be above, or in order for you to use above, you have to mention what you are above. You know, the plane is above the clouds. The cup is above the microphone. You're always talking about two things when you use above. You know, when you have two bunk beds, one bed is above the other bed. Below then is similar, like I'm standing below the basketball net. My hand is below the microphone right now. My other hand is below my other hand. It's getting confusing, but that's how you would use those two. To argue and to agree. To argue, to disagree, to express opposite views with emotion, and usually not happy emotions. Usually the emotions of anger or frustration, or maybe you're feeling aggravated. To agree, to have the same opinion, to accept or approve something, okay? So if you and I were to argue, it means we don't agree. We each have our own opinion and we are going to express it. When you agree, you have the same opinion and you're like, oh, good, you think the same way as me. I actually enjoy arguing though. I don't always like it when I agree with everyone. Sometimes it's fun to argue as well. Artificial and natural. Artificial is made or produced by humans, not occurring naturally. At night, when you turn the lights on, it's considered artificial light. It's not natural light. Natural is existing in or caused by nature, not made or changed by humans. So at night, we have artificial light. During the day, if you go outside, you have natural light. There's a window right here, and the window lets in a lot of natural light. So that is, I do have some other lights here that give artificial light, but the natural light is nicer in my opinion. To attack, to defend. I really wanted to find a picture of a dog attacking someone. To attack is to act aggressively towards someone or something to try to harm. So that dog is simply being trained to help police officers. To defend, though, is to protect from harm or danger, to guard against an attack. So this goalie, what's the other word for goalie? Why can't I think of it? In English, we say goalie. Can someone maybe in the chat mention the other word for goalie? I was going to say defender, but that's not what it is. But he is certainly diving to protect the net. He does not want the other team to score. So to attack, to act aggressively, to defend, to protect from harm or danger. Careless and careful. Careless is not paying enough attention or thought. likely to make mistakes. If you drive and use your phone at the same time, that is careless. In fact, in Canada, you can be charged with careless driving. So if you drive really fast, if you drive 100 kilometers an hour in a 50 kilometer an hour zone, you might get charged with careless driving. Careful, though, is paying close attention to avoid mistakes or danger. If you've ever played Jenga, you have to be very careful when you remove the blocks because you don't want everything to fall down. So careless, not paying enough attention. Careful, paying close attention. To catch and to miss, to grab or take hold of something moving, to capture. That's to catch. To miss, to fail, to catch, hit, or reach something. I was actually thinking the other day, one of the things that makes sports fun to watch is the fact that humans make small errors. If we all did everything perfectly, sports would be boring. But to catch is to grab or take hold of something moving, to capture. Like you can catch a fly with your hand, you can catch a ball. If your dog is loose, you have to catch your dog. To miss then is to fail to catch, hit, or reach something. So if I try to catch a fly, I might miss. If I'm running to try and catch my dog and I jump to grab my dog and he gets away, I could say I missed. That's not a good example, but definitely with a ball, if you don't catch a ball, you would say that you missed the ball. Hey, I got a few minutes to answer the rest of the questions and then we will wrap this up. So let me get the questions on the screen. I think there's only about 4 left, so this is going to be perfect. From Fabian, the opposite of Bob in Spanish is Roberto. The short version is Robert. Do you mind if I call you Robert? He, he, he. Only my mom calls me Robert, and she only calls me Robert, or did when I did something wrong. So I've been Bob for most of my life, since I was 9 or 10. I was Bobby and then I became Bob, but my official name is Robert or Robert or Roberto, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's too formal. Do you mind if I call you Robert? It just sounds too formal. It will make me think I did something wrong. From, say, oi to collarbone for me. Sometimes doing opposite with negatives can be confusing for me, like double negatives. It's not unlike the easiest thing to do. Brain usually goes overtime reading that. Yeah, that's a tricky one, right? Because you're using not and un. It's not unlike the easiest thing to do. So you're like, is it like the easiest thing, or is it not like the easiest thing? So yes, English can be tricky. That would simply be, yeah, I don't know if I would use that sentence. That one's too tricky. I would probably say it's like the easiest thing to do, or it's not the easiest thing to do. I like to speak clearly, but you will see sentences like that for sure. Fabian says, in the stock market, there are bullish and bearish candles. I believe these are opposites. When the stock market goes up, it is bullish. When the stock market goes down, it is bearish. So you can say a bull market or a bear market. So you are correct there for sure. I'm just going to scroll back because I saw something in the chat. Oh, goalkeeper. There we go. Goalkeeper. Thanks, guys. Thanks for respecting my privacy, though. That was me who sent the poster in case you were burning with curiosity. Yeah, it was Mode. I did not have clear instructions from Mode if I could declare to the whole world that he sent me a poster for my birthday, but it's a really nice poster. And I jokingly told him I originally thought it was from Matt Damon because Matt Damon sends me a birthday gift every year. He doesn't. Matt Damon does it. Although Mode's track record is pretty good for birthday gifts. My track record of actually setting up all the birthday gifts isn't great. Although the bobblehead is behind me. Okay, let's see here. The opposite of foolish is wise. How about smart and clever? Are they okay to be the opposite? So foolish. So the opposite of smart would probably be dumb. The opposite of clever would probably be, I'm trying to think, might be dumb as well. Like he's really clever. And often in English, we just negate the one term. Like he's wise, he's not very wise. He's clever, he's not very clever. he's smart, he's not very smart. And I should have made a slide for that because that's quite common in English and maybe more helpful for English learners as well, that you can negate in that way. From NFL is coming soon. I hope the Buffalo Bills wide receiver catches every pass Josh Allen throws. So we have a Buffalo Bills fan from the National Football League there. I'm not sure. I used to watch the Buffalo Bills quite a bit. I have not done that lately. Okay, I got to leave in 1 minute. So sip of water. I'm going to say bye. And there's outro music now. When I click the outro where it says thanks for watching. Here's a few things you need to know. Number one, this lesson will come out in an edited, shorter version in a couple days. It's a great lesson to rewatch or simply re-listen to so that you can reinforce what you've learned. I shouldn't do this. That means crazy. To reinforce what you've learned today. You should probably rewatch that. Number two, please consider becoming members. I know I'm asking for that a lot, but it's part of my new strategy for what my employment will look like in a few years. So I do have to start to market myself. So please consider it. There's a member, a join button or a subscribe plus button below. Lots of perks for members. New video Tuesday. Yes. New video Tuesday, live lesson next Friday. Everything is going to keep firing on all cylinders. And I'm going to now head out and go and get an x-ray done. And I'll post on my members tab when I find the results. Yeah, my cup is never out of water, but I've been timing it so it doesn't quite run out. Anyways, I'm not going to spend too much time saying bye today, as I think you will understand. Thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you Tuesday with a new lesson and Friday with another live stream. Bye.